We must be willing to get rid of the life that we planned so we can have the life that is waiting for us. Joseph Campbell.
Don't wanna be in love if it's not with you. Don't wanna cry that extra tear. Don't want to make mountains move. Let summer go, tell my skin to forget every little thing about you.
I am so happy to see you today. Thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. I hope you had a good, calm, safe week. I know you didn't, but I'm just going to throw that out there anyway. You know, this week I wanted to talk about inner peace, right? I think this is a good week to talk about that. But I was feeling a little anxious this week and I went to the thrift store to kind of, relax. And I saw this book and it's 100 Voices. So in this book they have like 100 quotes by some amazingly inspirational people. And so many of the quotes were about inner peace. And it just sort of stuck with me all week. So I wanted to talk to you about it this week. And I was thinking about what have I done in my life to make life better, calmer, richer. And I was thinking, like, if I had to go through what I'm going through now in 2020, what we're all going through, if I had to do that 10 years ago, I would have been a basket case. Come on, let's pick up the pieces, take them home, and see what we can make of what is left. This is the gift of next time. It is God's voice to everyone. Next time. John R. Claypool. When I think about the major changes that I've made to my life in the last 5 years, the first thing that comes to my mind is the expectations game. The expectations that I had not only for myself, but for everybody that was in my life. And if you are a wife or a mother, a grandmother, a co-worker, whatever, you have certain expectations for the people that are in your life. And you have certain standards. And so if they don't live up to your standards, then you get upset, you get hurt. And sometimes, and I'm relating this to being a mom, if it was my birthday and if my son hadn't called by noon, I'd be so deeply upset. Anyway, that's just a small example of the expectations that I set for everything in my life. And more often than not, I was terribly disappointed and I got sick and tired of living that way. So what I was doing with all these amazing expectations that I had for everybody in my life and how they had to live up to my standards, I was sabotaging my own happiness. So just one small example of what I had to change. So it's my birthday. It's noon. My son hasn't called. I'm going to call him. I'm going to take control of this situation when it comes to expectations. If I don't think my girlfriend has said something I want to hear about a certain subject, I'll bring it up. I'm not going to wait, almost setting a trap for someone you love to see if they'll walk through it. Be bold and courageous. When you look back on your life, you'll regret the things you didn't do more than the ones you did. H. Jackson Brown, Jr. The second thing that I had to change in my life were those feelings of regret. And I had to recognize when I was starting to go down the road of regret and pull it in and just try to change my mindset before it was too late. One example of this is, I could be at a furniture store with my girlfriend and we could be having a blast. And she would say, "Don't you love that couch over there?" And then suddenly that couch would remind me of a couch that I had with my husband, Bill. But I wouldn't stop there, of course. Then I would start thinking, well, what if I had done this? And what if I had done that? And then maybe I would still be married and blah, 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 blah. And then my day is ruined. My girlfriend notices, what's wrong? What happened to your good mood? Anyway, so what I learned to do is recognize when those feelings begin, when I start that cycle of regret. If only I had done this, if only I had done that, that kind of beating myself up, I don't allow it. I just stop it. I train myself to stop and replace those thoughts. A psychologist once said to me, we won't forget all the bad things that happen to us, and we're not going to live a life that is totally happy and without regret. But what we can do is replace those bad memories and those bad feelings with something positive. So I took that advice to heart. And it took a while. It took a few years, but I can recognize the triggers and I can stop those feelings of regret. Because I can't have inner peace if I'm upset with myself all the time that what I did in the past was wrong. I have to move on. I have to move on to have a happy life. A little girl lost a playmate in death and one day reported to her family that she had gone to comfort the sorrowing mother. "What did you say?" asked her father. "Nothing," she replied. "I just climbed up on her lap and cried with her." Charles R. Swindoll. The next thing I had to work on was my identity. And I know that sounds a little odd, like 65, she's working on her identity. But, I remember when I was a teenager and trying to learn self-love and, as you get older as a woman and the different stages you go through, you have an identity and you love yourself well, anyway. I think those of you that are my age, or older can relate to this, but as we get older, it's almost as if there's a trap, like we start looking at ourselves like a commodity that's losing value because we're aging. All this emphasis on, thick hair and skin that doesn't have any wrinkles and a body that moves smoothly and has the latest fashions, and it gets exhausting. For my own peace of mind, I had to stop viewing myself as a car with miles on it. I had to start putting things in motion that made me feel in control of my identity, who I was as a woman. And who I am as a woman didn't have anything to do with how thick my hair is and how many wrinkles I have. And this is something that I work on every single day. Yes, I want to be the best I can be. We all do. But as far as having value as a human being, that's our heart and our mind, our soul, what we do, what we put forward, the actions we take to make this world a better place. So I had to actually sit down and say to myself, who am I? Who was I? And who do I want to be? And when I got that answer of who I wanted to be, my identity came back.
I would like to travel light on this journey of life, to get rid of the encumbrances I acquire each day. The most difficult thing to let go is myself, that self which, coddled and cozened, becomes smaller as it becomes heavier. I don't understand how and why I come to be only as I lose myself, but I know from long experience that this is so. Madeline L'Engle.
Something that I have changed in this last year of my life that has given me so much inner calm is I do a type of deep breathing meditation. And I'm not really one to be meditating because I'm fidgety and I have a hard time just sitting still. But when I couple it with deep breathing, when I'm outside or inside, it gives me such peace and such calmness. And it's just taking these deep, deep breaths and then just holding it in and then letting it out. I don't call it meditation. I don't even close my eyes. That doesn't seem to help me. What seems to help me is getting in a lot of oxygen and then breathing it out. And that just makes me feel, even when I'm sad or I'm upset about something, 10 minutes of kind of relaxing and deep breathing, I can't say enough what that has done for my nerves. It's like a whole brand new lease on life. I don't know if it's called oxygen therapy or just a lot of deep breathing, but whatever it is, it's helped me slow down, take in my surroundings. It helps me live in the now and not worry about what something, if something might happen. It grounds me. Just taking in the air of the universe, I guess. One thing that has given me such peace and such inspiration is reading about women who have been tremendous leaders in this world. And I have gained so much from watching films or reading books on women that have made a difference. And I almost wish that, once a month, we could actually all read a biography of a great woman who did great things, and then we could chat about it. I don't know if you'd be interested in that. But I saw a documentary on Eleanor Roosevelt, and I didn't really know much about her. And they were talking about how she was born into a wealthy family. Her mother was so beautiful, but her mother was horrified when Eleanor was growing up because she thought Eleanor was so homely, and she gave her the name Granny and let her know how disappointed she was that she was so ugly. And, as a teenager growing up, Eleanor just suffered with terrible insecurities and depression, and of course she felt less than. Well, at 18, she was sent abroad to boarding school, and there she met her mentor, a woman who gave her encouragement, a woman who suggested to her that perhaps her future wasn't in, having a husband and children. She could have that, but perhaps her calling in life was to lead, to make a difference, to find a cause that she truly believed in, something, a life she could have that might change the world. And to a very depressed, insecure 18-year-old girl, those words were like music to her. And of course, she would go on to be one of the most respected columnists and reporters and first ladies. She was an amazing, amazing woman. And she didn't wake up, in the morning wondering about her wrinkles, I would imagine. And that's where I want to be. I mean, of course, I'm not saying I'm going to be Eleanor Roosevelt. All I'm saying is that I don't think it's ever too late to feel like you have a calling. It's never too late to feel like you can make a difference. So stepping outside that circle of myself, I've started to investigate some of the animal rights groups here in my state and how I can get involved and how I perhaps can change some of the laws to help protect animals. And just the more I read about it, the more I get involved, the more I meet people who are involved in this world of animal rights, the happier I become. It's just a cause. It's just one, maybe one of many that I could have. But there's something about, I just feel so peaceful inside, just thinking that maybe I could make a difference in a person's life, in a little animal's life. That makes life so worthwhile to me.
I gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which I must stop and look fear in the face. I say to myself, I've lived through this and can take the next thing that comes along. We must do the things we think we cannot do. Eleanor Roosevelt.
So much for hanging out with us today. I loved every second of it. And if you get a chance, below in the comments, could you tell us what is your most admired woman in history, or maybe somebody alive today, but just someone, could you just list somebody you admire? That'd be so cool. I hope you have a very good, safe, calm, inner peaceful week. And when you're done with your week, you come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right, it's a deal. We'll be here. Are we close enough to the camera? I can't even see you. I am just blind as a bat. There you are. Now I see you. Now I see you. All right, we're gonna wave.
I had rather attempt something great and fail than to attempt nothing at all and succeed. Robert Schuller.